Hello, and welcome to episode 56 of the Screen Age podcast. Now, I'm your host, Conor, and I'll let you introduce yourself. Now, I have a weird dream again.
Oh, okay.
And we've done this in the past, but this was like a series of mini dreams last night because I kept waking up and falling asleep. But it blew my mind this entire dream literally blew my mind. You're going to think I'm crazy for a little few minutes, but bear with me. It started with myself and a girl, I have no idea who she is, in some form of like Batman Arkham Asylum-esque like cell block for like insane asylum, and we were both like, what the hell, we shouldn't be here, all this type of stuff. And we're like, oh, we gotta try and find a way out. But the whole time I was just like supporting her, as in like she was coming up with the ideas like we should do all this, and like, but like once we broke out of our cell type of thing and going around the place, they were all like freak monsters and shit like that. They were like warding, or like were the wardens, and going around the cell and stuff like that. We're like, oh, what the hell is this place? I'm like running around the place. And we got captured after we broke out, and we got put back in the cell. That was the first dream. I woke up being like, what the hell was going on? And I fell back to sleep, and we're like, she was like, we need to get out of here, we really need to, like, this place is messed up. We're like, I know, we should try it. And we're like going around, we're making new plans and doing all this type of shit. We went out, we did a big extravagant plan, but at the end it failed. And we're like, damn, I can't believe it happened. I woke up like, fuck, I hope I get the dream again. And I fell back to sleep. And a similar thing, that we came up with a big plan and we were doing it, but the literal last second it failed. And we were like, no. And as she was like being dragged away and shit like that, we were both being dragged away, she gets put back in the cell block, and I just stand up and I go, okay, good. And then I take out a notebook and start writing shit down. I was like, I was the main person of this thing the whole time. I fucking woke up and was like, oh my god, I was the main overseer of this. I lost my shit. I was like, that is the biggest twist I've ever heard of.
You
Copyright.
Did a twist on yourself.
I know. Fucking mental. I couldn't believe it. Also, I think my internet shit here as well, but we'll deal with it.
Oh yeah, at least it's not frozen.
Okay. Anyway, that was my weird plot line that I wanted to explore. I would love to. Well, no, it's actually finished, so I have no reason to want to revisit it now. Perfect ending. So let's go on into TV, I guess.
TV? Okay.
Yep. You said you had something on TV.
I do. Two things. The first one, I found quite funny.
You have plenty of time to prepare yourself.
That one of the Game of Thrones prequels was cancelled.
Oh yeah, but how much money did they spend on the first episode though?
They spent 30 million on just the pilot alone, just to go off and cancel it. That's mad. Which one is it? Is it? I don't think it's House of Dragon.
No. I initially, once I saw the headline, I was like, oh my god, has it been cancelled already? But no, it's not the House of Dragon.
Oh, okay. It was the other one that they were gonna do. But yeah, so obviously 30 million on a pilot just to cancel it at the end of the day is insane. How bad was this?
I know. That's just, first off, that's how much money HBO has. They can just fucking, here's 30 million. Oh, failed. Oh well. But yeah, no. Excuse me. You question how bad it was. I question how good was it.
Okay.
God forbid they give us something we want.
Yeah, true. Because, yeah, like, no one wants Game of Thrones. I feel like, and everyone has been quite, like, upfront about that. No one's been like, like, yeah, we want that. And then behind the scenes, they're like, yeah, we don't really want this. A lot of people are openly against having more Game of Thrones.
Oh,
and they just go,
rightfully so.
Oh, you want Game of Thrones? No, we don't. Oh, okay, we'll make 2 more shows.
Yeah, sure. Also, I also saw today that J.R. Martin begged HBO to have 2 more seasons of Game of Thrones.
Well, of course he did. He's out here not writing the books and getting loads of money for it.
True.
And then I love the, like, he came out, I think, recently and was like, oh, the reason why the show went downhill after, like, season 5 was because they stopped following my template. It's like, yeah, we know that. There was no books to follow.
Yeah, well done.
That's on you, hun. Like, stop blaming them. Because the show was bad as well, because he was part of the writing crew and the production crew. So, like, he was also doing shit. It's not just HBO that kind of bottled arguably what could have been the best show of all time. Could have.
Was like again season 5 was set to be, and then went to shit.
And then with 3 seasons later, it ruined everything it did in 5. So
yeah,
there you go. But I just want to say that was funny.
Oh yeah, like you're right, and like I don't think I would actually want Game of Thrones anymore. Like House of Dragons is just a cash grab for, hey look, you remember this shit, and we're like, cool. You're just trying to wipe season 8 out of our minds, but that's just bringing memories back.
Yeah, and they're gonna do a season, and then it's probably not gonna perform well, but they'll renew it for like 2 more to try and like rope like other fans back into it. Probably like, look, this isn't what we used to have. This is the nice stuff, and it just won't work, and they're gonna spend so much money and just end up cancelling the thing. Or it'll be good for like 5 seasons, and then they'll ruin it at the end again.
If we're so lucky.
Oh, if only. Yeah. Do you have anything on TV or absolutely nothing?
That's the thing about TV at the moment, is it is completely and utterly about Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, it's literally all about Hawkeye.
Hawkeye.
What is it?
Every now and again, Boba Fett comes up. Cool.
I haven't watched Boba Fett. Boba Fett, fuck's sake! I haven't watched Hawkeye yet.
Neither have I.
And but I've seen a couple of the headlines, and got me a little confused because
oh no,
like one of them is like, oh, they finally justify him not dying in Endgame, and I'm like, no, they justified that in Endgame when they were like, he has a family to live for. That's pretty justifiable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to justify it any further. That's it. I think that the reason why they say he's justified it now because he's trying to make right for his wrongs that he did in those 5 years where he just went on a murdering spree. So he has to like better himself. No, his justification was he has a family and that's it. You don't need any further.
Not much more.
I did hear.
You're on point tonight.
I know. I did hear though that it is grittier than all the other shows that we've gotten.
And I've also heard it's the lowest rating premiere of all the other shows that we've gotten.
Yes, because in fairness, did you know it was going to come out till it was like, oh, here you go?
No, but that's a fucking common thing nowadays. Of okay, here's the show all of a sudden out. We're like, cool. When did we decide this?
Yeah, and I think it's also partially because it was like Marvel really just focused on Spider-Man and then just kind of snuck in like, oh, here you go, here's Hawkeye. It's like, wait, what do you mean? So, yeah, just watch Hawkeye if you want to waste your time, I guess. Can't be that good.
I mean, maybe saying waste your time is probably annoying. Is not annoying. Is harsh, too harsh of a statement. But like, I love Jeremy Renner and I do like Hawkeye. So, this should be a show I'm watching. But I do not care about Marvel at all.
There's too much Marvel at the moment.
Oh, again, everywhere we go, even movie news. Like I'm tempted to just have a ban on Marvel movies this episode because I'm tired of talking about fucking Spider-Man. But there is something that we've got to talk about in Spider-Man that we actually have to fucking go on about. So, but I'm sick of Marvel and I'm tired of seeing it. I'm literally, every time I see MCU or Marvel, I grimace to myself. I'm like, God, what now?
And I wonder how long will it be till others start to feel this way as well. Because we're starting to go like, oh, fuck this Marvel thing, man. Like, there's too much. But a lot of big Marvel fans love this. Love that there's constant streams of stuff being thrown at them. But at a certain point, surely it loses its magic. It loses its like excitement of like, oh, there's a new Marvel movie. Now it's like, oh, there's another Marvel movie. Like, how many Marvel movies and shows did we get this year? How many are we going to get next year? It's just ridiculous. It used to be like a 1, maybe 2 movies per year type of a thing, and it used to be like exciting to have to wait for the next one. Now it's like, oh, we just have to wait like 4 more weeks and we get the next thing.
Yeah.
So it's quite just overloading, and I hope eventually, I hope soon they kind of realize this and stop.
I know, for the love of God.
Yeah, like, I know a lot of people would say like Disney acquiring them was like the best thing since sliced bread and like all this, but I feel like Disney acquiring all these things has actually kind of ruined a lot of the excitement and stuff. Like, Star Wars is dead because of Disney.
Oh, in the water.
Because of Disney. They bottled the great start that The Force Awakens left. And just did shit 2 movies, released The Mandalorian, which is very, very good, and then have done nothing with the whole Star Wars that they own. Nothing. And that's just so annoying.
Like, they've planned it. They've come to terms that, okay, not come to terms, but they've come up with ideas and stuff like that. Oh, this is what we can do, and all of us are like, yes, for love of God, do it.
Yeah.
My issue isn't that they're not doing well. Okay, it's kind of the statement's a bit contradictory. My issue isn't that they're not doing anything with it because they've planned it. My issue is that they're not doing anything with it soon. They're literally just become stagnant and letting us like, oh, you all just want Marvel. Here you go. We're like, yeah, kind of, but like, that's a lot of people want Marvel, but you're going to get more people coming in with Star Wars if you actually do something. Like, I can't wait for Acolyte to come in, just because it's going to be completely different than what we've seen in the past, and even Book of Boba. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it to an extent, but it's like, it's heavily more so just I want to see Boba Fett and see what crazy shit he does. It's not really like I want to see the world being explored like the Mandalorian. I can't wait for Mandalorian season 3 because I get to see the world being explored. I get to see the history being padded in Acolyte and stuff like that. But like, I think that's my main issue with Marvel is it's always kind of going forward. Like, it's always like, here's the next step in this. Here's the next step in this universe. Here's the next step. And I'm like, okay, cool. With Star Wars, you can go back into the universe and say, this is where it all began. And you're like, that's cool. Because the Marvel universe started in 2007 when the fucking Star Wars universe started how many millions of years ago in what other galaxy that's so far away?
Yeah, for sure. That's a very good point, because it really just feels like we're just going forward, and there's just no end in sight. Like, Eternals could have been a very good like movie in the past, because they came here, well, they came to Earth like whatever it was, like 700 BC, so you could have gone all the way back and followed their story for a while in Earth, taking out those monster things, and then brought them into the present, but they didn't. But yeah, Marvel is really saturating the market, and
that's how it's been for the past few fucking months, almost year, I'd say at this point.
Yeah, and to the point that they just give us things that are not wanted. Like this Hawkeye show is about 4 years too late. Same with the Black Widow movie. It's about 4 years too late. Like, it really just feels like, okay, let's just spin this wheel, and whatever character lands on, we give it a show. Like, spin the wheel. Oh, Loki. Okay, let's give Loki a show. Not saying like, hey, I loved Loki, but it was almost like, just chuck it at us and that's it. Like, you know, for the sake of it, because people fell in love with Loki after Infinity War, and then they were like, okay, let's milk this love for this character as much as we can. So, but yeah, that's our little Disney rant that I didn't know we were going to go into.
Add to the list.
Add to the list, yeah. And that's only the Marvel and Star Wars side of it. We didn't even go into everything else that they've purchased and ruined.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but what could you do when they got the money? What can we say? But yeah, the other TV news that I'm quite excited for, and that came out, we got a quick, like, I want to say, like,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
Clip of Peaky Blinders season 6.
I completely I was like, there's something I wanted to talk about that I'm really excited for as well. Yeah, fucking finally.
Yeah, we finally got a look at something. Like, it all started with, I think the director put up an Instagram post and said it's coming earlier than you think, and it's like, oh yes, because it was kind of looking, because it got delayed, and then we had the passing of the actress that plays Polly, can't remember her name. And
I know, it always slips my mind too.
It almost felt like it was going to be delayed for that much longer, but we got a little, like, it's coming earlier than you think, which is always great. And
hell of a glory.
Yes, and then a few weeks after that, we got, it's literally about a 20-second teaser trailer, which is just Tommy walking down a hall, and then he says, I have one last job for you, Alfie, and then we see Tom Hardy. So it's confirmed Tom Hardy's returning, which a lot of people weren't sure if he was going to. And it's just, cannot wait.
The absolute looming of a man, though. That like shot where he comes out of the darkness type of thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's like, that show is one of the most intimidating shows.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because they intimidate you in a way that's like, it's not stereotypical. Like, you don't need a big buff burly man standing over you, like, with a deep voice. You just need, like, someone who knows what they're doing, and it's fucking terrifying. Yeah. And then once you just see Tom Hardy come out, you're like, oh god. Seeing that made me rewatch the big dialogue he gives where Tommy says he's crossed the line. I think it's in like season 4.
Oh yeah, when he with the Russians, isn't it?
With the fucking hell! That was the scene. I was like, "Yep, Alfie's my favorite character because he gets this.
He gets it, yeah. And it also teaches Tommy a lesson of, like, you know, that's how
what
the world is. Yeah, what did you expect? Like, you do it to others, so expect it to be done to you, that type of thing.
God, I'm really excited for this season now. I'm terrified for it, but I'm so excited for it too.
I am really excited, and I hope they don't pull their punches or try to play it safe. I hope they go, like, proper for it, because I cannot wait for this. So we get season 6, and then probably about a year later, we get the movie. We get a Peaky Blinders movie, which will then be that'll be the wrap. But I cannot wait for this to come, and I think it said early 2022.
It did, yeah.
So we're probably looking February to March, for it to come out, which is a lot sooner than I thought. I was thinking September, October next year. So I'm very happy with this. I love Peaky Blinders. It's such a good show.
Same.
It
I'm happy
honestly
that
was amazing.
I'm happy that Netflix is also taking on to releasing shows episode per week.
Mm.
So, since Peaky Blinders is on Netflix, I assume they're also going to do the weekly episode thing.
I would assume so. Yeah, I would assume so also. But maybe
So,
they'll have a thing where like BBC's like, we're gonna have it for like a while before you get it and stuff. So I don't know.
like again, since they're doing the weekly release thing, I don't think so. But it's usually on their Netflix exclusive things. But since they have a deal, I would assume they too would be like, yep, we can do a weekly release.
Yeah, especially because Netflix, like Peaky Blinders was big when it was just on TV, but it became massive when it came to Netflix. Like it just became like, because everyone was able to watch it, and the following just multiplied and doubled and tripled insanely. So it would be kind of, I guess, harsh to Netflix not to give them the weekly episode, especially because they kind of like made this like massive the way it is now.
Yeah, but it's just a good series. That's the thing. It's something that I really hate about nowadays. Is there's so many series, but so little are actually good, and that's why I always avoid the big shows that everyone talks about, because they're never as good as people make them out to be. Pretty Little Liars is one of the worst shows I've ever witnessed before in my life. Riverdale apparently lost its shit not too long after.
Gone to hell.
Like, there's so many things people are like, watch this, you have to watch this. Like, I know it's going to be bad. I know it's just going to be some generic pump out, here you go type of thing.
Yeah.
And like, here's like, because there was a golden age of TV series when Peaky Blinders, Game of Thrones, and other shows like that were all coming out. That was a kind of golden age, because it was like, oh, people really started to get into series then. People started to be like, yeah, I'm going to watch this series every single week until the show finishes. And you're like, awesome, that's good for you. But now it's like, oh, people like to do this. Let's pump out as much shit as we can until they're done. I'm like, no, because now again, we have how many fucking shows? Like... that are still running, that are like hitting seasons 5, 6 and 7. I'm like, I didn't even know that was a show to begin with.
Yeah, there's so many that are hitting the really high numbers and seasons, and the majority of them, there is a very few select number of TV shows that do things right from start to end. We've talked about this before. There's very, very few, and it's because they like you said, let's just pump it out. They don't know when to stop, and usually they stop because they're told to stop, because it's gone to hell. So with Peaky Blinders, that's why I'm really excited for this, because first of all, I love the show, but they also in themselves said, from the beginning they said, we're doing a maximum of 6. That's it. So when they got to 5, and people were like, no, they'll probably do 6, 7, 8 and 9, they were like, this is the last season. They said season 6 is the end, and we're gonna do one movie to wrap it all up, and that's all the Peaky Blinders you're gonna get. And part of me is like, oh, no, I want more Peaky Blinders, but a part of me is like, thank God, because at least I know that it's gonna end like when it's in its peak. It's not gonna like start to go downhill for 4 seasons and then it's shit. They're going to end on a peak, and it's gonna be good. And more shows and networks need to realize when to stop.
It's like my dream. Like, again, like I had 3 of them. I was like, yay, great, this is awesome. Part of me wanted to go back into it, but I was like, no, it was a perfect ending. Why would I want any more? That's just Peaky Blinders. Yeah. But like, the fact is, with Peaky Blinders as well, it's that it's just well written, and that's my main thing with shows nowadays. It's so like, you'll sit down and be like, I can see where this is going. I know what's gonna happen. I can see where this is. Like, can go right or wrong, and you
Yeah.
can kind of just, even if you have a basic knowledge of what shows are nowadays, you'd be like, okay, I know what's going on. With Peaky Blinders, I was always like, okay, I thought I knew, I have no idea what's going on now.
Yeah, and I think what helps with that as well is that there's only 6 episodes per season, because
Oh, I forgot about that.
because if you look at, like, let's say, off the top of my head, I'm thinking The Walking Dead, right? If
Yeah.
you look at The Walking Dead, the first season had, I think it was either 6 to 8 episodes. I think it was 6, and each episode is fantastic. But then after that, they started doing 16 episodes per season. So what ends up happening is the first 3 to 4 episodes are fantastic. So much happens because they're like picking up from where they left off in the last season. And then the middle set of episodes is a whole load of filler and a whole load of preparation for the last 4 episodes. So like you said, in all that filler, you start to go, okay, this is going to happen, this person is going to die, this, that, and the other. And you end up being right because there's so much time to, like, where they drop little hints along the way of what someone might die or something might happen, and then it does happen. But with Peaky Blinders, it's 6 episodes, so they don't even have time to drop hints. And if a hint drops in episode 1, you don't pick it up because you're already on to the next one and you're flying through it. So that's why I love that it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
It just keeps it concise and perfect. Oh, I love
Got
Peaky
it out, do you?
Blinders.
Yeah, you really seem like you got into it.
I like Peaky Blinders.
We all do, in fairness. I mean, you have to find someone who doesn't, actually.
Yeah, I've never heard of anyone go, no, it's not mine. It's not for me. You know, everyone that's like, I tell like them to watch Peaky Blinders or comment that Peaky Blinders is good. They go, I saw it. Like, I heard it's good. I might watch it. And then they watch it and it's like, that was amazing. You know, I've never heard them going, no, I stopped after like 3 episodes.
Yeah, now I can see, like, again, it's not generic, so it's really well written and really just, like, convoluted at times. So, like, if people being like, oh, is that really my thing? I can kind of get that. Yeah. But you still gotta appreciate, like, 'cause it's not just like spoon feeding you like other shows are nowadays.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a very unique story, or like it's not. Yeah, unique in in its own right, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a copy of something else.
Okay.
You want to go?
A little bit, if you're going to keep saying that it's unique. It's unique. In its own right, it's unique. It's not the same as anything else. Cool, it's unique.
Yeah. It is unique.
I'll kill you.
It's different in its
I'll
own
kill
right.
you. I'll kill you.
Nothing's like it. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Move on to movies. Yeah.
Movies.
Well, I will mention one thing before we move on to it. People are still having fan theories about how... Have you seen Squid Game?
No, but it's okay.
Do you want to? Okay, no, I'll just give a huge spoiler at this point then. Spoiler. Still here? Your fault. Skip a minute. Fans are giving out theories that a character can return and she got fucking stabbed. So, and she's very much dead, buried and cremated, and they're like, oh, she can come back. Like, no, she's dead.
I did see that, actually. I did see that. They were like, oh, she's probably going to be in the 6th season. It's like, did she, like, die?
Oh, she got killed. Very much
and
so got killed.
It is one of those shows that wouldn't bring back someone. Especially when you clearly see them die. You know, it's quite obvious. It's not like, again, we're still on spoilers for Squid Game. It's not like the old man that they say, oh, he died in that last one, but you never actually saw him get killed or shot or die. And it's like, oh yeah, he died, but that ends up not actually dying till he runs the whole thing. That's fine because you didn't see him die. We saw her die. We saw her very much die. So there's no coming back from that one. No. If it was off screen, I'd understand.
Alright, moving on.
Mm-hmm. What job?
Why swallow so fucking loudly?
Mike doesn't pick it up. Just you.
Mine does, or your other one does.
Mm-hmm. What job?
Stop drinking! Fucking
Thirsty.
we have to talk about Spider-Man.
Jeez. Someone's all tied up and loose.
Can't leave that in the podcast.
But anyway, so last week, it was last week or during the week, you were able to pre
Oh
your,
no, I have
oh,
another
something
thing to
else.
talk about. Yeah,
Oh, will I do my thing or your thing first?
we'll mention scalpers briefly.
Okay, you mention Casper. Scalpers.
I said the word for you.
I know. I also have it written right in front of me. But so you were able to buy tickets for the movie starting like last week or something. And I don't understand how there is scalpers for movie tickets. Like, to a certain degree, and I'm saying to a certain degree, I understand scalpers for like consoles to a certain degree. I still think they're the worst thing to exist. But anyway, that's different. But movie tickets, there's people that bought out full screenings, a full screen, and are selling the tickets for hundreds and hundreds of euro. And some of them are selling it for like 25,000 a pop. And it's like, who? First of all, do you really think anyone's going to buy it? Second of all, is anyone buying this?
Now that is my question.
Is anyone going, damn, I didn't get a ticket, all the tickets are sold out, but I want to watch it on first day so I don't get spoiled. I'm going to just drop $1,000 on a ticket so I can go. Because if you are one of those people, you are insane. Because not every ticket in the world is sold out. Even in America, okay, the big cities, definitely. But if you go to a small town with a fucking small cinema, I'm sure you can find tickets. So, when you're €1,000, you can take a couple of flights to somewhere else and watch it there. Don't pay someone €1,000 for a ticket in the cinema. That is absolutely insane.
It's funny though you're saying don't pay €1,000 for the ticket, but pay €1,000 on other things to get a ticket.
Now you don't have to pay €1,000. You can drive. You can drive.
So
2 hours.
Don't pay €1,000, but okay. Okay.
If you drive 2 hours,
knows.
what? That's what like. You could drive 2 hours easily on like €20 tank of gas. You know. And then plus your ticket and popcorn, that's another €20. So you're doing it for 40 instead of €1,000 or dollars. Like so you see where I'm coming from. But people just need to stop scalping. I feel like
haven't they released a law?
that's what I was gonna say. They did a little bit, but it's very vague and a lot of loopholes have been found. So, but I also feel like it's mostly on eBay, so I feel like eBay should really crack down on scalpers on their end. If they see something ridiculous been put up, they should really take it down. I know it's the whole like free marketplace, blah blah blah, and that's mainly where they get most of their business. Just random people putting shit up. But surely they should crack down on some of the ridiculous items that are being put up for just to take so much money off people.
I guess, but like it's how you regulate and how you have all those loopholes. I haven't looked into the law at all. Do you know?
No, I have no
do you have
idea.
a brief description of it? Okay.
No, I have no idea. I think it's still not out yet. I think it's still like on the way, but see, the issue is if it's in America, they put a scalper law that you can't do scalping. Someone will just do it from the UK, or someone will do it from China or Canada or whatever, and then it's just like back to the same issue then. But anyway, what's the other Spider-Man news that we had?
Surprised you haven't heard about it. Is that they've announced another Spider-Man trilogy with Tom Holland.
Yes, I do know this. I did know this.
Now that is an issue.
Okay,
it's an issue more than it is a good thing.
Yes, so he will have 6 movies.
Christ. Well, excluding his appearances in the Avengers.
Excluding his appearances in other movies that aren't his, because he's been in what, 3 other ones.
Mm-hmm.
So excluding those, 6 standalone movies for him, which is more than double of any other superhero. Because Iron Man got 3, Captain America got 3, Thor is getting 4. So
5.
no one. Sorry, is he getting 5 as well?
Thor, Ragnarok, Dark World.
And Love
Yeah.
and Thunder.
Love and Thunder's 4.
Yeah, and then Guardians of the Galaxy again, only their 3rd one. Now, we might get a 6th Thor one, we might get eventually 6 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, but the fact that they just said, yeah, we're doing 3 more off the bat is insane.
But it goes back to what we always say.
Yeah.
The fact that this is going to be coming after this well sought after movie means Tom Holland is safe. Nothing's going to happen to his character. Nothing's going to occur that's making us going to be shocked. There's nothing's going to fucking happen, because if you then end up just being like, he does die in Far From Home, or whatever the fuck it's called. What's it called?
Yeah.
Far From Home. Like, then you go back in time. I feel like, this is the other things that he did. It's like, what's the point? What's the point? So like, he's obviously going to be safe for this. So he's going to make it through, and so it takes out that kind of shock of, what can happen. So now I know he's going to live. Now I'm not going to be shocked as much, which is a shame, because I am looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And then we have to also do 3 more movies with him. We have 3 more standalone Spider-Man movies. It's fine having 3 standalone Iron Man, because it's Iron Man. You have 3 of his, so by the 3rd one you're like, okay, it's a bit saturated just having him there.
Yeah.
Similar with Thor, but you kind of cheat with him a bit, because you're like incorporating other things in Ragnarok. So like, you have Hulk there, and you have Valkyrie and Loki, so you have a load of other characters rather than just him. So it's much more fresh to watch. And thank you, Taika Waititi, you are an absolutely fantastic director.
Very.
But then, like, you have Spider-Man, where it's just Spider-Man.
It is just Spider-Man.
It's just Tom Holland, and I feel bad for Tom Holland as well, because he came out saying, I don't want to play him. I hear like tough shit.
Yeah, he literally said, I don't want to be Spider-Man in my 30s. He was kind of like, I want to do other things. And he's going to be doing it till he's 30.
Yeah, I'm looking up his age.
Wow, what is he, like 24, 25?
He is 25. So if 3 movies in 5 years is not going to happen, especially in this case.
3 movies in 5 years is not, like, insane to think about. It definitely could happen.
Well,
but I don't see it happening in 5 years. That's a long-term project.
No Way Home is coming out when? Is it this year or is it 2022?
The new one this year. Yeah, in 10 days.
Okay, so cool. So it will actually be... So he got Homecoming in 17, and... Well, that was released in 17, and he's been working on it prior to that. Yeah. So, like... Yeah, no matter what, he's going to be 30 playing Spider-Man. So
which goes against what he wanted to do. And then the other thing, to build on top of the point that you said, that I know nothing will happen to Tom Holland's Spider-Man in this movie. Now we know that nothing will happen for the next 3 movies till maybe the last one. Because if we're getting 3 more, that means he's safe for this one, he's safe for the one after that one, and the one after that one. And then the 3rd one, he might get it. A little something, you know?
Yeah.
And then the other annoying thing was that they said, the Sinister Six will be in those trilogies, and they were like, so there's actually not a Sinister Six in this one. And it's kind of like, you didn't have to say that. You could have let us go watch it and realize that it wasn't the Sinister Six on our own, and not tell us before we go in.
That's something I also despise about, like, it's something that I've really become aware of doing this, is companies for some reason have it in their heads that they have to spoon feed everyone anything. Yeah. And the worst part about it is people appreciate it because they're that dumb. Like,
Yeah.
you literally just have to sit there and go, oh, that's what's happening in this movie, and think about it for 4 seconds.
Yeah.
The amount of TV shows, games are kind of the only, like, segregated part from this, because it's really hard to spoon feed you a game when a game has a tutorial.
Yeah.
So, like, what do you want? This is a big series, like, this is what's happening. I'm like, cool. But if it's a game is doing that, by then you kind of need it, especially if it's like Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah.
But with movies and TV series, the amount of times I've seen today alone where it's like, oh, the writer of this show or director of this movie has explained its ending. I'm like, have you really come to that? Have
Yeah.
you really come to directors having to come out and explain an ending rather than people making their own fucking minds about something?
Yeah, that's what makes some of the classic films classics.
Exactly.
The ability to get it at not necessarily a vague or just a very like cut short ending, but to be able to get an ending that isn't clear cut, crystal clear exactly what's going to happen, and be able to go, okay, what happens? What happens after? What happened? Like in Shutter Island is like the main one I'm thinking. Like the ending, you can kind of see two ways about it. What happens at the end, and you can choose whichever way you want to go about it, and that's the one you pick. But if the directors came out and were like, "Oh yes, this is exactly what happened," it'll just be kind of be like, "Oh, okay, I didn't want that one. I preferred the other one," and
Yeah.
it is really annoying with that they have to come out and just explain it, and it's because people complain. It's like, oh, I didn't get an ending, we didn't get an explanation, and it's like, that's up to you to come up with something. Same thing with like Inception. Inception has a very vague ending.
Convoluted.
Yeah, and you can kind of pick your own ending, pick your own way of what happened after it. But if Christopher Nolan came out and said, "Oh yeah, so this happened and this is what was meant to be seen or expected," then everyone would just be like, "Oh, no, that's not the one I wanted," and it's just shit.
Like, I'd say if you were to ask me this 2 years ago, what would you think of people doing that, of directors coming out and asking that? I'd say that's the exact like indication that the movie is shit. If you had to explain your movie thought process to someone, then you're like, yeah, the movie's shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's made too convoluted. Now I will not say that, because people are literally asking for where you're like, just make up your own one. Have an ounce and like an iota of creativity within you.
Yeah.
And just go, I think this, and be happy with that. Don't turn around to any fucking creator, director, writer, whoever the fuck, and be like, hey, can you explain this to me? I didn't really get it. It's like, did you watch? Because if I was the director, I'd be like, did you watch it? It's like, yeah. What did you think happened? And it's like this. I'm like, cool, that's what happened. Bye. And then leave. That's all I do.
Exactly, yeah. Like, it's like if you tell someone a joke and you have to explain the joke, it's not funny anymore.
The joke's shit, yeah.
Like, but I feel like the best example for this is The Sopranos. Now, spoiler for The Sopranos. I mean, it's been out for ages. I haven't seen it, but I know how it ends. But basically, at the end, I think his name is Tony. He's sitting in a restaurant, and a guy comes in, and it looks like he's I don't exactly know what's going on, but the guy comes in and the show ends. Right, so people were like, "Oh, Tony's dead," and other people were like, "No, Tony's not dead. He lives." So there was the two split between the fans. Like, some people thought your man came in and killed Tony, and other people believed, no, Tony lives and continues to run the mafia or whatever. And that was nice, and that ended in 2007. And then from 2007 till this year, those fans were, yeah, he's dead. No, he's not dead. And then 2021, the director comes out and goes, yeah, Tony's dead. And a lot of people were like, no, I don't like that. I liked when I believed that he was alive, that he lived on, and he was able to move on from all of that. And other people were like, see, I told you he was dead. And it was just, it kind of ruined that that ending to such a big show.
Hmm.
And it's so annoying that they have to do that now. Because
Yeah,
people
but
can't just sit there and come up with their own fucking ending.
I hate it. I really do hate it, and it's like it's really obvious as well, because like I could sit down and watch with people, and I'll have like intelligent conversations about what the show is, what it means. Like, I remember having a conversation, and later we got onto a topic about how I prefer like the middle and endings to shows, because like seeing how the characters like who have already been developed end or like go out with each or not go out with each other, but finish out the story with each other. And another person loves the beginning and middle because they like seeing how they develop. I was like, damn, that's an intelligent thing. But then I have other conversations where I'm like, I really like this aspect, and they'll go, yep. I'm like, what do you think about this? You're like, it's okay. I was like, can you elaborate maybe? It's like, just pretty good. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Explain.
I feel like no one comes up with their own endings and conclusions. No. It literally has to be like, this is what happens, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
It's so frustrating.
Ridiculously so.
Yeah, because like even going back to like just for a second, going back to Peaky Blinders, when I saw the end of season 5, and I was like, yeah, he killed himself. He's done. It's over. And then like 2 months later, they were like, it's renewed for season 6. I was like, oh, okay, he's not. But that's fine.
You thought he killed himself?
I thought he would have, yeah, because he goes a bit mad at the end. So I was like, okay, he's killed himself, and that's kind of like where we're going. Like I because there was no whiff of like a season 6. There was nothing coming, and I was just like, okay, I just came up with my own ending, and then it was like, okay, there's season 6. And okay, he's not killed himself, and it's the same thing with when they continue to like spoil things in the future, and it's like, why are you doing this? Just shut up. Shut up.
Let us experience something. Let us actually go into and go, oh cool, this character's here, awesome.
Yeah.
No, we don't have that anymore, and I hate that.
Yeah. And even like trailers back in the day, it was like, here's one trailer to this movie that you've never heard of, and it's the most vague thing but enough to interest you to go, and you go watch it and you enjoy it. Now it's like, let's drop 7 trailers before the movie comes out and literally spoil everything underneath the sun, and that's it.
No.
Like, could you imagine with the Spider-Man movie if they decided that they were going to just drop one trailer, the most vague trailer of just Spider-Man, Zendaya, and that's it. That's all you see in the trailer, and then we go see it and we see Doc Ock, we see Green Goblin. Those shit would have been amazing. But now we don't.
Anyway, we do have other things to talk about.
So let's talk about it.
This is also why I wanted the ban of Spider-Man shit, because it makes us rant. It makes us go on these long tyrants that just goes in circles.
We'll say there's a ban next week, but unless something happens.
Unless something fucking big happens, unless like, I don't know, Tom Holland dies or some shit, we probably won't talk about it. I am delighted to see a name come up that I will always cherish in my mind, which is Steven Spielberg. Forever, he is my childhood and will forever be my favorite director. But I take umbrage a little bit in a title or the headline, because it says Steven Spielberg is developing his first Western. Now, as a movie director, I think should be finished there, because the first ever thing that he ever filmed was a Western short movie in his like high school. Oh no, for an Eagle Scout merit badge. Okay. So
you think this should be his like goodbye?
No, I don't know. No, I'm not saying that at all. The headline should say as a movie director, not just his first Western, because his first Western was when he was in school and becoming an Eagle merit badge scout. So I take a little bit of umbrage in it, but I am seeing his name come up a lot, because we got the West Side Story remake coming out, which I find very funny how he talks about the musical scenes in it were harder to shoot than the Normandy landing scene in Saving Private Ryan.
That's brilliant. Apparently that's fantastic though. Apparently
Apparently
he's done
so.
a great job on it, which I'm not surprised.
I'm not surprised at either. I absolutely love the man, but I do want to kind of break down that statement that he said about the musical scenes, because when you like on paper you're like people dancing and an entire invasion of a beach. Like if you were to ask me what the hell do you want to like what do you want to like shoot, I would instantly go, well, I would probably go for the beach landing because I'm a history nerd. But if I was like for ease, like what would you think is easier? I would of course go for the dancing scenes.
Of course,
But
yeah.
then
You
when I kind
think
of
like professional dancers, surely this will take 3 to 4 shots and that's it. Like,
yeah, and then you kind of think a little bit harder about it. You're like, hang on, with a choreographed dance, you can kind of just go with it. But when something goes wrong, or if you have to like cut to a different angle, you gotta reset everything.
you do.
Everything has to be changed. Everything gotta move around. All the people gotta learn different things. If you're just like filming a scene like people like storming onto a beach, really all you gotta like you do is you just set it up and you just take the shots and then have a white shot of people doing whatever.
Yeah.
You just kind of just go do it and you do it, but with a dance scene, there's a lot of intricacies about it.
Yeah, and yeah, you wouldn't think so. Like we just said
No.
there, you'd really just go, yeah, they just dance, and you just let them dance because they're pros. But it's really, yeah, when you think deeper, it's just that much harder.
I remembered I had another dream. And it was actually about Steven Spielberg. It was really funny. We were giving him an interview
We
on
were.
this.
Oh,
we
boy.
were on this.
Could you
It was
imagine?
really funny.
I
I
feel
know,
like
but
you've
what
had
was
that
even
dream
funnier?
before.
No, I not some like that. I had a dream where I was interviewing Johnny Depp.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but this one for some reason every time I was interviewing him, I was like ask him the same question you asked Harrison Ford last week. I woke up and went, if we could ever get that big, I think I could cry.
Could you imagine? It's like, on today's episode, we got Big Steve here, the big man Spurg. Welcome back. It's your 10th time on the show.
Spurg. Yeah, by then I'd ask if I could call him Spurg.
Well, we at that stage we have a couple of features in his movies and cameos and whatnot. But anyway, that's a dream of ours. But
I'm just delighted to see his name come, like, cause like he's not like a quiet director. That's the thing. He's still like going.
but he has been quiet for a while. I feel like I haven't seen him in a while.
Thing.
I haven't heard about much.
Like he's did West Side Story 2021, a TV movie in 2021 as well, and he's an executive producer. Like that's the thing. He's not just a director. He does a lot of producing work as well. So that's an interesting.
Especially for his age, executive producer is probably a little easier than director.
Well, look, he's been executive producing, fucking God knows how long.
Yeah.
Like
Man, this man has bangers after bangers after bangers.
I mean,
this man doesn't miss.
Very, very, like, it's rarely. Now, we can't, like, every director definitely has something where you're like,
definitely.
Really? But bloody hell.
God, like, just to name a few, we got obviously Jaws, we got Jurassic Park, we got Raiders of the Lost Ark, we got E.T., we got Schindler's List, Ready Player One, Saving Private Ryan, Back to the Future, The Terminal, more Indiana Jones.
Like, if I go
Lincoln.
to just a 10-year stint of it, so if I go, let's see, okay, where's Duel? There's Duel. So the Duel is here 1971. So let's, like, he's still going in 2021, 50 years later.
50.
God, that's fucking terrifying.
That makes him 24 when he did that. Because he's 74.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Because I was just doing the maths in my head, because The Last Gun is the Western short that he filmed first.
Yeah.
Was in 1959. But then literally 12, like, I say literally 12, but like, it's 12 years later for going from making literally just a short movie for being an Eagle Scout to directing Duel. and then going from then, in 10 years you had Duel, Something Evil probably isn't as big, and Savage isn't as big. You have Sugarland Express, you have Jaws, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1941, Raiders of the Lost Ark, E.T., Twilight Zone, Indiana Jones again. I went over to 10 years, but like, still.
Yeah. Obviously, we all know that Jaws was kind of what put him really up there. Like, really kind of put him on the spectrum and was like, look what this man can do. Because that film was, and is still, perfection to this day.
Oh, it is actually a perfect movie. Really, it's like, it wasn't perfect to shoot by any means, whatsoever.
And like, I think what makes it even better is that, like, he ran out of money filming that movie to the point that he couldn't have a shark, and all this, and the studio were like going to cancel it, and they were like, you're done, you're finished, blah blah blah. And he was like, no, let me just go with it. And he did a whole shark movie without a bloody shark till the last like 10 minutes, and it is the most suspenseful, terrifying one of the most suspenseful, terrifying movies of all time without a shark. It literally makes you fear a shark without fucking seeing him. And that's that little tune of the shark.
Oh yeah.
Everyone
transcends generations. Again, it's almost 50 years. Oh my god, it's actually in 4 years' time I'll be 50 years old. But like, Jesus. If you're like, what's even bigger of just a testament to what he was able to do, even at that age. Again, you said he was what?
In 4 years, it'd be 78. So he would have been 28 filming that.
Would he have been
28,
about that? So he would have been about 28 maybe-ish. So if he was 28 filming that, and then like, that's the biggest flex. But just to really highlight at how, I mean, it really is, come on. I'm almost there and I've done fucking nothing. Like, with, just to really highlight how much of a revolutionary movie this is, the film industry and any cinemas, studios, or the studio that published it was just like, you know what, we're going to put it in summer, just have it on in summer in cinemas. No one goes to the cinema in summer. Like, what's the point?
Yeah.
The movie will flop and we'll move on with our lives. And it created summer blockbusters.
Oh,
that is the greatest story.
Yeah.
It absolutely exploded.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Like just to put it into perspective, they had a budget of $9 million, right? So like, back in the day, that was a lot of money, right? But obviously back in the day, that was quite. That would have been maybe like 40 to 50 million nowadays, right? Quite a lot of money. They box officed 472 million.
Oh my god! That's back then.
That's back then, which is, again,
that's not adjusted for inflation.
That's not adjusted for inflation at all. That is unbelievable, to go from 9 million to 472. Like, that is insane.
It was relatively unheard of then.
Oh yeah. Like, it made 52 times its budget, which is mental. Like, and like we said, a movie that was meant to be a flop, meant to be like, just drop it in the summer, no one will go, and it just created, like you said, summer blockbusters. Oh, fantastic! Absolutely.
I could literally talk about this man for the rest of my life.
We could have a whole episode to talk about Steven Spielberg, and we still wouldn't even touch the surface.
No.
This man is one of, if not the best director ever. He is fantastic.
And also just a really nice person.
One of the nicest people out there.
Like, there's a thing, one of the actresses in West Side Story had to like go do a high school show as Shrek the Musical. I was like, yep, I'll plan around it so you can do it. I'm like, really? I love that
guy. Yeah, he's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And I wish I had like 1% of his net worth.
Oh fucking Christ!
3.7 billion. Would love that. Wouldn't mind that at all.
Sadly we gotta move on.
Unfortunately, because
like, I remember we would start talking about John Williams, but we sadly gotta move on.
Yeah. Oh, miss him already. But yeah, let's move on.
Games.
Finally.
Finally.
Games. What do you have?
I actually have a lot of things by Xbox that have piqued my interest, but one thing that is like really made me go, this is a very like nice thing to do, and a very like just kind of I don't know why something like this hasn't been done, but it's Xbox will put out free demos of more than 35 unreleased games starting December 7th. So there's going to be 35 demos being released out there, being put out there, of games that haven't been released. So it's just demos, just like test, there you go, of unreleased games. Now, I really love that idea, because say if you're a game developer or something like that who has a game like this that's in their kind of work, that's not released, it's just kind of there, and you want to test the market. Xbox is going to release that for you. Pretty much, here's the demo that you've given to us. We're going to release it out there, see if people like it. That's good for developers, because they can go, this is the type of games that they like, this is the type of games that are popular now, we should probably try this out, we should definitely release it, or any of this type of stuff. And I think this is a very user-friendly idea of, here's a bunch of demos of games, tell us what you want to see. Tell us, like, you play all these games, you come back and you tell us what you like. Yeah. And we'll probably end up releasing it. I like that idea. I think this is a very nice idea.
It is a very nice idea. I quite like that too. I just love the way they just always have something going on that is good. You know, they always have something for pretty much for anyone, really. You know. Yeah,
like PS are now again, this is their second attempt really at it, trying to make another Game Pass. But like one of the main, I think it's called it's not Artemis, I can't remember what it's called. It starts with an A and it sounds kind of poncy. But they're trying to make it as well, but one of the main things I see within it is people obviously compare it to Game Pass, because they literally say it's a follow-up to Game Pass, but people are like, can you release new releases like Xbox does? Because if not, there's no point. And I'm like, yeah, Xbox literal release date games on this thing for people who, like, I'm yet to find one person who has gotten Game Pass and not said, it's actually good value.
Yeah.
Because it is.
It is. It pretty much is. It's great value for money. You get so much. Like, okay, well, if you look at it at face value, €150 a year, it's a lot. You go, okay, that's quite a big chunk of money. But when you delve into every single thing that you get, you're like, that's actually almost a steal. Because you get over 100 games. Over 100 games. It includes Xbox Live. And on top of these games that you get, like, it's not really generic shitty games. Yes, there is some shitty games on it, but there are some absolute bangers on it. Like, you got every single EA game pretty much ever on that, and any EA game that will come out will eventually get there for free. You're gonna have Halo Infinite. You're getting Stalker. You're getting.
You bring that up.
You got Back 4 Blood. You got all these absolute bangers games, and that's only the surface. Like, I can only imagine once Bethesda starts to release their games, are they going to be on Game Pass? And if so, oh my god,
sweet Christ!
Yeah, so I absolutely love Game Pass.
Oh yeah, but it just kind of goes down to what we keep saying. But it's something again that I love, as I saw it again yesterday of oh hello, I'll read this in a second. Is what you call it, PS5 or PlayStation don't use for the players anymore.
Yeah,
I still love how it's called Play Has No Limits, because of course it has limits. You took your fucking game, your digital games off other things. You have limited as much as you can.
Yeah, literally.
It's so
Yeah.
It's so funny to me that they say that they first off realize, yeah, we're not really for the players, but we're not limited. But they're
Yeah.
like, no, you are. You're actually you're known for being exclusive. That's
Yeah.
literally what you're known for.
Yeah.
But then they do shit like this, and I'm like, Xbox does shit like this with the here's a bunch of unreleased demos that people have made that we're gonna let you play, and I'm like, that's so much more for A, the player, and B, for the developer.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. It's mental. How much attention to detail and attention to like the fans they have. But it's funny that you brought up Game Pass, because PlayStation has basically created their own Game Pass and it's going to release soon. I see your face. They've created.
No. You see my face because I brought it up already.
I know, but I want to like get back to that because I wanted to talk about it further.
Okay, then. Is there details I don't know about it?
Yeah, so they basically want to battle Game Pass because obviously it's been a fantastic success. But the way they're going about it is just completely wrong. If you ask me, they're gonna have 3 tiers already. Bad.
Oh, already
already a fat L. They're going with 3-tier levels, right? Which they haven't detailed exactly what's going to include in each tier and prices, but I think the last tier they said that you will be able to play PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and PSP games on. So that's the best, like that's the highest tier. So
thinking, things you could do at Xbox anyway.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if that's the best tier, which is the tier Game Pass is, if that's what you get with the highest tier, what are the other tiers going to be? Like I feel like the lowest tier is going to be something as basic as like just getting PlayStation Plus and maybe like 1 game a month or something like that. But like 3 tiers is so I don't understand it. I don't get like it.
But that's also playing that's playing into there's sorry, I'll try to phrase it. You would know more about this than I would, I assume. But having 3 tiers like that, would that not be like a little bit of exploitation and mind games with the consumer? Because it's like there's 3 tiers here. You're not going to be bothered going for the cheapest option because it's the cheapest option, so you're tempted, but then you realize there's not a lot of things, and for a little bit of a jump, you can get this increase, this little bit of a better one. So they're already kind of playing with you to get more money. And then once you have that, you're going to be like, but if I can just extend it a little bit more, I get the full thing. And then you're paying max for probably like, so the lower 2 won't be viable really against the main one, because the main one is the best one, but it'll be the most expensive one.
Yeah.
And the middle one will be okay for people who are okay with it, and the last one will be pretty much pointless. So really we have to wait till the actual one comes out, I guess, to really make these thoughts and more details.
That's the thing with it. We haven't got exactly like what it's gonna entail in each tier. But I feel like, just like you said, just having 3 tiers and being like, you could go for the lowest one, but you're gonna get nothing, so you might as well pay that bit more for the next one. But sure, if you're on that one, sure, you might as well go for the next one, rather than just saying, look, you get everything with this one. If you want to get it, if not, keep with Xbox Live. You're able to have 2. Gold. You're able to have 2 options. You can stay with Gold or go with Game Pass Ultimate. Not this like, you can like do one.
Do all this.
But sure, look, you get nothing, so you might as well go for it. So, it really and it also feels a little like, okay, I understand Sony coming out with Game Pass, especially seeing the success. I totally get it. Hey, steal some of the ideas. If they work, they work. I mean, Game Pass when it first came out, it was garbage. It was poor, but they continued to develop it and add more things and this and that, to the point that it's even Sony now are like, hey, we need to get on this fucking train as well.
Like Sony, ate their own words with. That's the thing. They came in and said, no, we don't need a Game Pass. And now they're coming out with a Game Pass. Like, what the fuck?
But if they would have just come out with a thing like Xbox, it's just one tier, one fits all of you get all these games, all PlayStation 1, 2, 3 games, and some PlayStation 4 and 5 games eventually. Fantastic. Great. It would be great for them, but the fact that it's tier level is automatically a bad thing. It really just feels like everything with Sony just money grabbing.
Yeah, but it adds that complexity that like doesn't make it as user friendly, and that is just my main thing with PS is I just don't feel they're user friendly. Every time I go, like I think about it, every time I see something with PS, it's them saying this is how we're better. I'm like, cool. Xbox don't talk about how they're better; they just show it.
Yeah, they just show how they're better.
That is a phrase I might get eaten alive over if we were bigger.
Eventually come back to bite in the ass, but anyway.
I do even in the wake of saying that, I do say I still feel like when games are released on and people and like developers are releasing PS games, people are like, oh, this is why PS is great. It's like I feel there's a slight disconnect of like people will look at Horizon Zero Dawn or God of War and be like, this is why PS is great. It's like, no, this is why Santa Monica Studios for God of War, and I can't remember who makes Horizon Zero Dawn. They're great because they make good games that happen to be on PS.
That happen to be exclusives, yeah.
Yeah, PS, every time I talk about PS, there's a reason why I don't talk about the games, because the games themselves are brilliant, and I can never deny that, because if I do, that's literally me being a proper fucking Xbox fanboy.
Yeah.
Even though I play PC as well. I have to admit, the games are fantastic. Yeah. I just hate PlayStation. I just don't like how they run.
Yeah, I don't like how they go about everything.
No.
Like you said, games are fantastic. The majority of their exclusives are bangers, and they do have great games. But like you said, the way they go about selling, the way they go about making things and everything just feels there's something wrong about it.
Yeah, wrong is the word for it. It's just like when I go onto the homepage on Xbox, I see all the things I've customized. I see my name, I see everything, friend, blah blah. It's really easy. And I go onto PS, I hear the fucking noise that's constantly playing, and I see the red background that I've put on. I'm like, cool. I just don't feel at home on that. I feel so much more at home with the customization and just friendliness of Xbox. But fuck, I could be here for hours again.
Yeah. But I just found it funny that PlayStation were like, oh, we don't need Game Pass, and they're coming out with their own one, and then doing the tier system is absolutely insane.
Nah, I just don't get it. I don't get Sony sometimes.
No, I don't get it. But look, that's gonna be forever unless they change, which I don't see it happening.
No.
But what else do you have?
I just have Halo.
Oh, Halo.
And there's one beautiful word that I absolutely love, which is Halo. But I have a bit of a catch-22 in the sense that there is something great coming along, and there's a bit of a catch to it, though.
Okay.
I still don't know if I ever use that phrase correctly, because I'm not 100% sure what it means. But we've been playing... me especially, have been playing the shit out of Halo Infinite. I fucking love that game.
It's great fun. It's great fun.
I played it for, I think, about 7 hours yesterday. I love it. My two main things about it is literally, I wish there was more challenges to complete in the weekend, because, okay, I know what I just said, I played it for fucking hours yesterday, so of course I have my weekly challenges done, but I'll put this to you. I generally don't play Halo until like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So until about 11.
11.
That's really it. Yeah. So we'll say for the max, I play for 2.5 hours each night.
Every night, yeah.
I've completed the challenges, the weekly challenges, within 2 days. So within 5 hours, I've completed the weekly challenges, except for the main one, which usually takes a lot longer. This week I've completed them again in those 5 hours. Then yesterday completed the weekly ultimate challenge.
Yeah.
But now I'm just waiting. Now I'm just kind of ticking over until next Tuesday at 5 p.m. where more weekly things come out, and I'm like, yay, to complete it by Thursday evening, and then Friday I complete the actual. Like, I wish there was more ways of getting XP, and I assume they are going to make that happen, because that is the main thing I love about 343 at the moment. They are listening. When people complain about them not getting enough XP, they're like, here's a boost. They're like, cool. When people are like complain about different aspects of it, they will change it, and they are changing it, and that's what I love about it. Yeah. But my main thing is that there's no playlists until 8th of December, when we're getting playlists. And my fucking favorite, it's confirmed.
It's confirmed.
And my fucking favorite one of Slayer, or not Tactical Slayer, or SWAT, is coming to it, and I fucking love SWAT, but I feel like it's gonna hurt me this time, because while I love it, and I used to be in an Onyx placement in Ranked, it's been a while, and I can't wait for it. But sadly, here's the catch.
Oh, okay.
Slayer itself, the actual game mode Slayer, is not coming out until after the holidays.
Oh.
And that's saddening to me, because Slayer is the main classic deathmatch mode. And I love it. I love Slayer.
Why is that though?
We gotta wait a little bit longer. I assume there's probably going to be, was it say, won't run until after the holidays. Does it say?
Because it's weird, because they do already have Slayer in the big battle.
Yeah, they have Slayer within it. It was a decision to make. We could have straight. Oh, okay. So the more playlists we have, the more fragmented players get, making it harder for people to find matches quickly. That's what an executive said. At the start of the beta, we wanted to ensure quick matches, and that meant fewer playlists, which
makes
meant
sense.
One playlist.
Yeah.
I never have issues getting into a game. Exactly. So now a philosophical thing. Slayer is a great mode. It was a decision to make sure we could simultaneously stress the systems we needed to test in a beta state while still giving you all great matchmaking experience. So they released it so they could still test it, type of thing.
Okay.
But I feel like if they added all those things in, because they still have Fiesta, which is Slayer just with like all the weapons. So like we still have that, and it's still a bit fun. If you don't really like it, that's grand. I'm not the biggest fan of it, because every time I fucking respawn, I have a shitting pistol and a plasma pistol, and they have fucking rocket launchers. But anyway, so well, we still have Fiesta. We're still getting other playlists, so it's definitely giving people more of an insight into how servers work.
Okay. And I guess it's a way of, if people want to play, like, well, what's that game mode you just talked about?
Slayer?
When you like SWAT.
Yes.
SWAT. If they were to like release all of these, including Slayer, SWAT, and all the other ones, most people, in general, would lean towards Slayer, because it's just classic team deathmatch, go in, kill. That's it. And it's a good point that they make, that the things will get fragmented, because more people playing Slayer, fewer people playing SWAT. So if you all play SWAT, there'll be less people trying to get in, and you'll be waiting ages for a game. So by removing the team deathmatch, it allows people to get familiar with SWAT and all the other game modes.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, we really like SWAT. So when Slayer comes out, we can play Slayer, but we also have SWAT. So it's kind of like, yeah, I like that. That's quite good, actually.
Yeah, I like it in the sense that you get to experience more things. And I hope they keep the quick play one as well, that you can play all the ones. It's just, if I ever have to touch a fucking flag in my life again, I'll scream and shove one up in the developer's ass. If they learn anything, is for the 4v4 CTF, half the fucking time frame. Make it 6 minutes than 12, because the fucking big team battle is 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Why is the fucking CTF 4v4 12?
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. I'm there for years.
You can make it like 8 minutes or something.
Even that's better. Like, even like make it, but like, because it takes so long to get the 3 flags, because I always play defensively, so as soon as someone comes towards, I'll fucking beat them down. as soon as if one person plays defensive on that team, it takes years
Yeah.
to fucking get the 3 flags. It's so long.
Yeah.
So if they learn anything, please reduce CTF, and 1 flag can kiss my ass because I fucking hate that game mode as well. Maybe
in big team battle with more people is fun.
Oh, so much fun.
It's a lot more fun, but definitely the 4v4 capture the flag is painful.
It's very, very painful.
Yeah.
Also, players need to figure out how the fuck warthogs work. You drive
Don't
them,
stop.
the passenger gets out, and the passenger gets back in again. If you are a driver of a warthog and you're playing capture the flag in big team battle, if you're the driver and you get out to get the flag, die.
Okay.
That's all that's gonna happen to you. Because like, you do not understand. Also, press A to switch seats in fucking warthogs, people. For the love of God. Stop getting out and then getting annoyed when someone else gets in the fucking turret, and when you wanted to get into it because you were slow enough to get out, just press A.
Yeah, just press A. Oh.
Sorry,
it's
I got
great
a
fun,
little
though.
bit passionate there. Oh, I fucking love that game.
It's
so
good
much.
fun. It's really, really. It feels really fresh.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. It really feels like old school, and they took the great things from old school and the great things from new school with a smattering of new mechanics and just went,
Yeah.
here you go. And we're like, oh, we love you. And that's the thing. I have yet to see a post on the current games that are released and not see someone say, I love seeing Halo back on top. I'm like, yes, 'cause Halo is back on top.
It is, yeah. And I really hope that in 4 days when the campaign drops and the full game releases, the campaign doesn't let it this game down, because already the multiplayer is fucking almost damn near perfect. And if they are able to get a really, really good campaign out of this, it will just push that even further up the bar.
My thing is as well, like I want to get the most out of that campaign, so I'd love to play it over Christmas.
Yeah.
I'd love to play it when I'm not I have to study for an exam or that I can just sit down and binge it. Part of me wants to save it until I get back, but I know I'm going to get spoilers, and I know I'm going to get I'm going to see parts of the game that I want to experience myself. It's already happening. That's the thing, because people are getting early access to it. So I'm avoiding as much as I can. So what I might do is just play it on like normal or heroic here. Just play through it so I can say I've done it. And when I get back to Waterford, I'm going to play on legendary.
Yeah.
Absolutely play on legendary. I know. But like, I've played every single fucking Halo on legendary at this point. I might as well keep going. Especially fucking Halo Spartan Assault. I'm pretty sure I played on legendary too.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna wait. I am gonna wait till after my exams to play it. I usually don't see spoilers for Halo anyway. Spoilers for games, really. I don't really get my game spoiled. So I'll just wait and watch it and fucking play it after my exams and stuff. Yeah, I'm excited though. I hope it's good.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
God, you're sounding real robotic on my end, and I actually have good connection. But anyway, there's one last thing I want to bring up, unless you have something else.
No.
Cool. Keeping kind of in tone with Halo, Battlefield 2042 is getting help from a co-creator of Halo, who I assume who is not actually still working on Halo, and is they're going to, let me find it again because it's not too far down the line. Come on, show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me where the fuck is it? The main thing is that Battlefield 2042 is getting help from a Halo co-creator for some aspect of its game, and that does inspire hope in me, because Battlefield 2042 is just okay. Oh, here it is. So the new studio, which is going to be, so it's a new studio that's led by this co-creator, is going to focus on narrative-driven content.
Okay.
So it's going to be more story-based things, which is grand because Halo has one of the best stories in the fucking world.
Yeah.
So thank God. I hope some of like the Halo aspects of just a fun multiplayer kind of carries over a bit more as well, because Battlefield has heavily died. Its hype has heavily died down.
It definitely did. It died down rapidly. It'll come back. It'll make a full circle and it'll come back. But at the moment,
that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. We knew going into a Battlefield 2042 was going to be an okay mess. That's the thing. I went into it expecting that because that's what all the other ones were, and then they develop into this giant beauty.
Yes.
Which is why I haven't bought it yet. But now that I see that they're like bringing in people from Halo and shit like that, and that's what they're doing for their narrative stuff, and hopefully the studio will also help for multiplayer things too. I can't see why they shouldn't.
Yeah.
It builds my anticipation for this game growing, getting better, because games like No Man's Sky and Fallout 76 have definitely proved that once a game gets to get a little bit of TLC, Time, Love and Care, not whatever the TV channel is called, then
it can be good.
The game will be brilliant. It'll be beautiful. So I'm willing to hold out, but I'm still not going to buy it until I get a confirmation that game is better than it was.
Exactly. That's the thing with Battlefield. They're always a hot piece of mess at the start, and they just work on it. They iron out the kinks, and eventually it's beautiful. And you just gotta give it time. You can't be like, oh, this shit, and just move on. You just give it time. It will come around, especially with this thing that you just said. That will just bring it that step up. You know, they're already looking on how to improve this. So yeah, but we just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else?
And that was my last thing.
Right, let's go home.
Yes, run that outro.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram where we post movie reviews and TV reviews, and follow our TikTok where we post funny clips from the podcast and our Let's Plays, and even just our own playing in our own time.
There'll be a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of Halo coming.
A lot of Halo and a lot of whatever else we play. And and listen to our podcast pretty much on anything. And that's it. Bye now.
Bye-bye.